No need to keep revisiting it, no need to, I mean, unless it's helpful to help us get out of some bad habits. No need to keep going over it, no need to feel bad over it. Let it go. Just to keep punishing ourselves with it is actually creating more unwholesome mental states. Actually making the situation worse.
To forgive yourself is important, I suppose.
Yes. I mean, the word forgiveness can be a tricky one. It used to just make me mad just hearing the word. So it's, forgiveness is more an end of a process rather than a starting point. But, yeah, if you can embrace yourself with compassion as a being that makes mistakes and then move forward with that compassion in mind, that's good.
As you see, I like to participate. Much like she was just saying, like in my life, and you'll see what I'm saying in a second when I'm done with my statement. In my life, several years ago, I had a horrible experience. Addiction to opiates. It was horrible. Mental pain, agony, physical agony. It was prolonged, went on for many years. But I never died from it. I had people in my life that died. And miraculously, certain situations, even though I was in this extraordinary amount of pain and agony for a long period of time, miraculously, I would make it out of situations that others would die. Like a very bad car accident. There was someone following me, and he expected to walk up to the car and find me in there dead. And he said, as he walked up to the car, the door opened up, and I walked out like I was getting the Sunday paper, completely unharmed. But at the same time, I was suffering with this, and maybe the answer isn't here for me today, but if it is, great. But I'm just, what kind of karma would cause such agony at the same time, not allow me to, or allow me to escape these situations where many others that I knew, unfortunately, did pass. They did die. It's such a strong thing. It was so profound, and now that I have a clear mind, I see it, and I just can't. I can almost not believe it. I just wonder. And before today, I wonder what could cause that.
Not one karma.
No.
There would be multiple karma, multiple things that you had done, because there would be all of this beautiful meritorious power keeping you alive through it all, helping you encounter the right people to give you the guidance that you needed and get you out of it.
Yes, that can happen.
Or the people who extended their hand and kept you from committing suicide in your lowest moments and keeping you alive in this and that way, the paramedics, all these people who were there at the right place at the right time to give you a helping hand. On the other side, the evil karma of addiction. Who knows? The karma is deep. It's very intertwined. It's hard to know what seeds have been watered and sunned to ripen in a big way, and which ones have not. That might just sort of kind of wither on the side, not really have an impact.
At the same time, I wouldn't have changed these things, because these things, now this is a very linear thought process, but I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have those experiences. Having that horrible experience, when I finally broke free of it physically, I realized that I had to change myself, and not having those experiences, I would have never came to that realization, or maybe in time I would have, but, so I sort of cherish it, as strange as that might sound, because as painful as it was, I never want to relive it, but at the same time, that's what I take from it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Kuni, I'm worried about three situations. One, multitudes of people who don't have exposure to teachers or to the Dharma, and perhaps would change their ways or would study and would do things differently, but just don't have the opportunity. The second, someone who discovers the Dharma very late in their life and has less time, and I guess they could see it glass half full and say, at least I have touched it all. And the third are those people who are either in law enforcement or military, who sometimes their obligation and their duty may force them to be in a situation or perform an action that would be in conflict with their understandings of the teachings of the Dharma, but it's for the greater good, or it's very conflicting.
Yeah. That last bit is is very painful to see. When people are in circumstances that are not conducive towards beautiful behavior, but rather conducive towards negativity and unwholesome behavior. And there is a karmic difference between an action that you undertake on your own, or a thought that comes up spontaneously, and that which is guided by somebody else. And so the impact of wanting to kill versus being ordered to kill, there is a difference. But still, by your own hand, you do kill. So there's still something there.
I just want to say that, this is a podcast, so everything we say is going to be, it's a podcast, something new.
What does it mean?
Audio only, also as well with video, but everything you say is going to be spread, every question, so speak up, ask a lot of questions. I want a lot of questions, and really give it some good content. Tell me what's on your mind. Don't be shy, people, just ask a question, and I want to get a lot of, back and forth here, because the podcast, it's going to be on everybody's iPod, it's something new.
Do I get to put this past as some being wiser than myself to edit first? What kind of karma do I have if I teach the Dhamma wrong way?
Whatever you've been building up this whole time, you're a professional, so I want to hear some good stuff. Give us some good stuff, please, everybody.
Thank you.
I almost jumped in and spilled my coffee and everything. Okay, so more questions, please. Whoever didn't answer the question must answer the question. Let's start with that. Who wants to go next? Who has a question?
We're still listening to
I
this
think
answer.
we're still chewing on another one.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
But Kuni, the question I really wanted to ask was, can you be a Buddhist soldier?